Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You can build on XRP Ledger. General public is unaware, says Coinfield CTO. That's the title of a newer article from AMB Crypto. So I'll be running through the contents of that. I've also got a couple fun tweets I'd like to share with you in this video from the XRP community. And then I'll wrap up the video with something unrelated yet very, very, very awesome. Pension funds double crypto asset exposure in Morgan Creek's fund to 1%. And I reported on this earlier this year, back when I had like 12 subscribers or something like that. So Morgan Creek Digital, they're the first firm to have institutional investors from a public pension fund publicly announce that they are indeed investing in crypto. And so that happened for the first time this year. Looks like they like the exposure and they're increasing it. Cool stuff. And I'm just telling you, eventually, I don't know how long it's going to take, but eventually there's going to be substantially more adoption than there is today. And you know what that's going to do to supply and demand. This is really something. But before we get going any further here, if you would please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please delicately tap that like button. But don't get all smashy with it, because only dorks smash the like button. Just give it a little delicate tap. You know, respect the like button. And if you would please, just at least consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel. I tell you what, if you've listened to me in at least 3 videos, come on, dude, subscribe. Like, that's my pitch. That's all I can say. Well, here, I'll tell you what. You want a better pitch? If you subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, it will enrich your life. And I don't know, lift up your soul or some crap like that. I don't know. I'm being weird. Let me just get into this. Recently, CTO and co-founder of Coinfield and Celogenic, Reza Bashash, appeared. I don't know why I said that weird. Bashash. That's... What a weird mood, guys. Appeared in an interview conducted by On the Chain podcast hosts Jeff and Chip. During the interview, Bashash talked... that one started to sound a little bit like my Gerd. Remember that? Gers Berms? Somebody... I know most of you know what I'm talking about. The meme from like 8 years ago or whatever it was. If you don't know, you should check it out. Google my Gerd and then Goosebumps. And you'll see it. Anyway. Bashash talked about his experience running the Coinfield exchange and their future plans for Celogenic, a platform that aims to merge traditional financial markets with cryptocurrency markets on the XRP ledger. How about that? The ledger getting used. Bashash mentioned that they had been in touch with Ripple from the start, due to XRP being one of the base pairs on the Coinfield exchange. However, they only became closer with their tech team once they had begun work on their XRP validator, which was later added to Ripple's UNL list, which is fascinating. And that's the whole thing. I'm not going to get in the whole thing again, but that actually all came about because of XRP community member Tiffany Hayden talking about the need for more individuals and entities within the XRP community, specifically exchanges. She was expressing the importance of exchanges running a validator if they're offering XRP, and Coinfield indeed did step up, and they started run their own validator. So cool stuff. And think about that. You see, look, this is the coolest thing too. You don't need mining to incentivize this type of behavior. There's no financial motive for this. In fact, it costs a little bit of money. Not nothing. What is it, like $30 a month or something stupid low? So it costs a little bit of money to run a validator, but yeah, it turns out if people value the network, they want to help and secure it. How about that? When asked about the decision to build Celogenic on the XRP ledger, the Coinfield CTO said that it was because they had a personal liking for it, stating that the general public probably doesn't know that the XRP ledger is a blockchain that can be built on. And here's a quote. Everybody thinks of XRP as just the coin. When we launched Celogenic, people were asking me questions about how it will benefit XRP. We're here to use the tools to build on the XRP ledger. Right? And then Bashash also talked about the need to integrate with existing financial systems such as Visa and MasterCard while using cryptocurrencies. And here's another quote. I'm pretty sure in the future this will happen, but for the time being, if you're looking for a really quick solution to use your crypto, then you have to be able to integrate that with this existing financial system infrastructure that's been built over the last 40 to 50 years. I could not agree with that more. See, that's the whole thing. When it comes to the adoption specifically of XRP, because that's what I'm always thinking about, this is indeed an XRP-centric channel, it makes all the sense in the world to go this route first, because consumers don't even need to actually adopt the technology. As far as utilizing it for a specific use case, as Ripple intends XRP to be used as a bridge currency, it makes all the sense in the world. Basically, it's, man... It was equated to, I can't remember which Ripple, I think it was a Ripple employee that had to have been, that stated it's what they're doing, it's the equivalent of having like a plane in the sky and swapping out the engine while it's in the air. That's essentially what they're doing, fundamentally changing the plumbing for the way money moves around the world. But it makes sense to do that first, and then of course, people presumably will continue to adopt cryptocurrency, and maybe a cryptocurrency or cryptocurrencies will ultimately be used as money. But there's really no demand for that right now, and you're not really solving a problem. But perhaps that will come down the road, and if that's the case, then you're not going to need all these middlemen. You're not going to need banks and remittance companies for, to the same degree. Market share will be reduced. Market share is not even the right word, actually, because you're just talking about consumers doing something else. But the amount of volume would decrease. And if that just happens organically, that's fine. But if that's the case, understand it's not like it's going to necessarily hurt XRP, even if that happens, because XRP will be there. It will have, if it has staying power decades from now, if this scenario unfolds, XRP, it can be one of the cryptocurrencies that can be used for whatever it is that the consumers want to use it for anyway. Maybe they would use it as money. I don't know. That's all speculation, but I'm just saying. Anyway, here's another quote from the guy, Coinfield guy. We started looking into all of the options long ago, such as being able to offer services to the U.S. That's something that is going to happen in the future, but we don't really have a specific timeline for when it will happen. It's obviously inevitable, but it's a lot of work to be able to enter the U.S. market, so that's going to take a lot of time. But anyway, let me go ahead and jump into a couple tweets here from the XRP community now. This is from Mr. B XRP. I like this one. He tweets out, the one question I asked of every Ripple team, because, I should preface this first. Some of you already know this, but it's important in case you don't. Mr. B XRP, valued XRP community member, and I think he just broke 20,000 followers, didn't he? Yeah, look, 21,000 now. Jeez, 21,000 followers. That's massive. So anyway, he was invited by Ripple to go to Swell in Singapore, and he did that. And so this is what he's talking about here. So he had exposure to all sorts of Ripple employees. So anyway, the one question I asked of every Ripple team member I could was, do you hold XRP? Hearing them say yes wasn't nearly as meaningful as the smile on their faces when they did. I am in the business of reading people, and they are clearly bullish on XRP. That is a cool tweet. I had to share it with you. All right, take a look. This is from Crypto Man, who tagged me, along with the digital asset investor, a fellow XRP YouTuber, and Kevin Cage, also a fellow XRP YouTuber. And he tweeted this out. Can't they see that XCurrent was the appetizer to give them a taste and to get them on Ripple and RippleNet, and on-demand liquidity is now the main course that will satisfy all their needs? I like your thinking, Crypto Man. Thank you very much for tagging me. And indeed, the concept all along was just to get banks, remittance companies, all their customers on RippleNet, and then give them the option for on-demand liquidity, with the whole premise being that if on-demand liquidity offers the bank, and ultimately their customers, a better experience, faster and less expensive, why wouldn't they ultimately use it? So it makes all the sense in the world. Thank you very much, good sir, again. All right, last piece in this particular video, and this is from CoinDesk. Morgan Creek Digital now takes up around 1% of the assets of two Fairfax retirement system pension funds, an investment which has more than doubled since taking their first position in the fund that closed in February. Two of the three pension funds under the system from Fairfax County, Virginia, the Police Officers Retirement System and Employees Retirement System, invested $55 million in Morgan Creek's second fund in October. The new allocation came after seeing good preliminary results from the first fund, in part because of the performance of crypto, which makes up 15% of the Morgan Creek's investments. The majority of the fund's positions are in blockchain-related infrastructure companies, which is fine. And I know I didn't mention that earlier in the video, but I have reported in the past. It's only a small percentage, technically, of the money going in that's going into crypto, but that's something. And I'm telling you, it's going to be substantially more the world over than it is today. This is a big deal. The final close for Fund 1 was only in February of this year, and it is a short time frame admittedly. Catherine Molnar, Chief Investment Officer of the Police Officers Fund, told CoinDesk. It's gone well, and part of that is because of Morgan Creek's decision for how they've timed buying Bitcoin. The liquid part of the fund has done quite well based on how they have timed ramping that up in the portfolio. The Police Officers Pension Fund contributed $22 million of the investment, while the County Employees Fund put up $33 million. Molnar said $50 million of the investment went to the second fundraise, while $5 million was a separate co-investment in a specific undisclosed project under Morgan Creek. This is, to me, look, I know I said it, it's an awesome thing, and I'm telling you, as this continues to happen and institutional money continues to pour in, XRP will be a piece of the puzzle, and you know what that will do to supply and demand. This is big. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because of anything that I say or write, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!